Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching our special report on the most critical geopolitical and military developments of recent days, from the escalating battles in Ukraine to unexpected shifts within NATO, and even the shocking assassination that has shaken U.S. politics. All of these events are shaping an increasingly complex global picture. Stay tuned as we break it all down in today's analysis. The war in Ukraine, ladies and gentlemen, the situation on the Ukrainian battlefield is escalating rapidly, with the balance of power now appearing to tilt decisively in Russia's favor. In the Kupiansk sector, Russian forces have accelerated their offensive operations. Meanwhile, in both Pokrov and Zaporizhia, Moscow has secured several significant gains. Multiple reports suggest that Russia is preparing for a large-scale assault, one that could be launched simultaneously on three fronts: Zaporizhia, Pokrov, and Novopavlovka. On the Ukrainian side, the manpower situation is reaching a critical point. Some frontline units are operating at barely 30% strength, making it nearly impossible to establish an effective defensive line. Russian air power continues to apply relentless pressure, carrying out roughly 50 airstrikes a day, coordinated with artillery barrages, drones, and heavy bombs. Moscow's strategy is clear: overwhelm Ukrainian defenses with massive firepower, then deploy small assault groups to infiltrate and seize control of territory piece by piece. Another serious vulnerability lies in Ukraine's logistics network. Russian UAVs are now capable of striking targets 40 to 50 kilometers deep, putting vital supply routes to Sloviansk and Kramatorsk at severe risk. In addition, on September 11th, Ukraine's Air Force suffered a heavy loss when a Su-27 fighter jet went down in Zaporizhia. The pilot, Major Orkan Borovich, was killed in the crash, a tragedy that has left deep sorrow within Ukraine's military ranks. Most notably, on September 7th, Russia launched its largest airstrike to date, employing as many as 823 drones and missiles against key energy and industrial infrastructure. This is regarded as one of the most powerful blows aimed at crippling Ukraine's ability to sustain logistics and industrial production. NATO and the crisis in Poland. As the war in Ukraine intensifies, NATO and Poland are grappling with an unprecedented incident. Around 20 Russian drones penetrated hundreds of kilometers into Polish territory. What's most shocking is that NATO's air defense systems managed to intercept only 4 of them, raising serious questions about the true defensive capabilities of this powerful military alliance. Analysts suggest that Russia may be probing NATO's air defense network, seeking to expose weaknesses before expanding its UAV strategy in the future. In response, Poland's government has urgently called for additional defensive weapons, pressing the alliance to reinforce its eastern flank. However, not everyone is convinced this was a deliberate move by Moscow. Some European officials argue the incident could have stemmed from electronic warfare interference or a control malfunction. Others even speculate that, Kyiv and Warsaw might be leveraging the incident to push Western nations toward deeper involvement in the conflict. What stands out is the response from the United States. President Donald Trump struck a cautious tone, describing the Russian drone incursion into Poland as possibly just a mistake, and voicing opposition to any strong military retaliation. This stance underscores the divisions within the Western Bloc over how to confront Moscow. Assassination shocks U.S. politics. While tensions run high in Europe, the United States has been rocked by a dramatic event that has shaken an already volatile political landscape. On September 10th, Charlie Kirk, 31, co-founder of Turning Point USA, a prominent conservative figure and close ally of Donald Trump, was assassinated at Utah Valley University. The attacker used a Mauser rifle, though the suspect's identity remains unknown. Charlie Kirk was well known for his hardline conservative views, opposing LGBT rights, resisting immigration, rejecting radical feminism, and most notably, fiercely criticizing U.S. aid to Ukraine. For this, he was placed on Kyiv's blacklist, accused of spreading pro-Russian narratives. Over the years, Kirk had received multiple assassination threats, but this time the warnings turned into a tragic reality. Russia was quick to pin the blame on the pro-Kyiv left, claiming Kirk's death is directly tied to the war in Ukraine. While no clear evidence has surfaced, the assassination is certain to inflame America's political divide, pushing tensions between the right and left to a new level. The potential consequences are enormous. The loss of such a prominent conservative figure could reshape U.S. foreign policy, especially on Ukraine, as calls within the conservative camp to cut aid and scale back involvement continue to grow louder. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the bigger picture. In Ukraine, the fighting grows ever more brutal, with the advantage shifting steadily toward Russia. NATO and Poland have revealed troubling weaknesses in their defenses against UAVs, raising serious doubts about the alliance's true strength. Meanwhile, U.S. politics has been shaken by the assassination of Charlie Kirk, deepening internal divisions and potentially reshaping Washington's aid policy toward Ukraine. All these factors are interconnected, creating a chain reaction that could redefine the global geopolitical landscape in the days ahead. Thank you for watching. If you found this analysis useful, please support the channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing so you won't miss our upcoming reports. Goodbye, and see you next time.